Manipur logs a single-day spike of 362 new COVID-19 confirmed cases and 7 deaths in 24 hours. Death toll climbs to 422. Manipur procures the medical oxygen from the neighboring states of Nagaland and Assam to meet requirements. And India logs above 3,68,000 new COVID-19 cases and 3,417 deaths in 24 hours. Recovery rate stands at 81.77%. Hello and welcome to Impact News. You are watching Primetime, the English Bulletin, and I'm Kanel Shambanduram with you. To stay protected from coronavirus, wash your hands frequently, wear your masks properly, and maintain a safe distance from one another. Please remember, the fight against the coronavirus is not over yet. Now, the news in details. Manipur reported 362 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 out of 2,156 test results received today. All necessary medical precautionary measures like containment and contact tracing are in place. As per State Health Department and COVID-19 Command Control Room, the press release at 5 p.m. today, total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Manipur has reached 32,523, out of which 2,071 are active cases. 7 COVID patients died in the past 24 hours, rising the death toll to 422. The deceased persons are 1 each from the Kaching and Imphal East, 2 from Thoubal and 3 from Imphal West District. On the positive note, 107 patients recuperated in the past 24 hours, rising the total recovered cases to 30,030. State's recovery rate stands at 92.33%. Manipur has started procuring medical oxygen from its neighboring states to meet its requirement in the wake of increasing COVID-19 infected persons. 374 oxygen cylinders were procured from the Nagaland in Assam and Dimapur in Nagaland today. A vast difference is being witnessed between requirement of medical oxygen during the prevailing second wave of COVID-19 pandemic and the first wave of COVID-19 pandemic outbreak last year. Impact News sources said that around 25 out of 100 patients required medical oxygen last year, but this year around 80 out of 100 COVID-19 confirmed patients required medical oxygen. Meanwhile, there are only 3 private oxygen plants in the state, including the oxygen plants at Sejo Hospital. Unfortunately, the oxygen plant at Sejo Hospital is no longer working. The 2 private medical oxygen plants are unable to cater the oxygen requirement of all the hospitals in the state, and only 40 D-type oxygen cylinders can be produced per day from the oxygen plants at RIMS and Jennings. More than 220 D-type oxygen cylinders are required for COVID-19 patients at RIMS hospital per day, compared to earlier requirement of only 60 D-type oxygen cylinder. Import of the medical oxygen from other states will have to continue until the abundant medical oxygen can be produced in the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has chaired a meeting to review the uses of gaseous oxygen to ramp up the supply and availability of oxygen in the country. Many industries like steel plants, refineries with petrochemical units, industry using rich combustion process, power plants have oxygen plants which produce gaseous oxygen. This oxygen can be tapped for medical use. The strategy being used is to identified industrial units which produce gaseous oxygen to requisite purity, shortlist those which are closer to cities, and establish temporary COVID care centers with oxygenated beds near the source. State governments are being encouraged to set up more such facilities with oxygenated beds to deal with the pandemic. Principal Secretary to Prime Minister, Cabinet Secretary, Home Secretary, Secretary Road Transport and Highways and other senior officials participated in the meeting. COVID vaccinations were carried out by strictly adhering to COVID-19 SOPs at PHC Basikong under the supervision of MO in charge Dr. K.S. Hemanta. 4 vaccinator and 8 support staff along with ASHA workers are administering vaccines to eligible persons who are 45 years and above at the health center. Vaccination for those above 18 years and below 45 years are yet to be carried out in the state due to unavailability of vaccines. COVID-19 vaccination was also carried out at the Wangu Community Health Center in the Kakching district today. Speaking to media, leader of the hospital's management committee, D.H. Dhamend, said more than 1,300 people have been administered COVID-19 vaccine at the hospital so far. After the committee raised awareness about the benefit of COVID vaccination, he said government has allowed maximum 100 shots per day. Hence, many people above 45 years are unable to get the jab yet. He appealed to look into the matter at the earliest. Education Minister Sorokaibam Rajain has joined other state leaders in getting vaccinated against COVID-19. The Education Minister got his first jab at the Salamd Kangjebung in the Imphal West District today. 100 other people also get their jab along with him at the same site. People continue flaunting containment restrictions imposed in Greater Imphal. Police nabbed violators at various places of Imphal West and Imphal East District and issued them fine. Heated argument issued between the police and violators of issuance of traffic challan. Imphal West SP K Megachandra laid drives in Imphal West area. He shot for public corporation and warned of actions against violators. One day doctors meet on the Community COVID Care Center Singjamai was held at Manipur College today. Speaker of the Manipur Legislative Assembly, the Singjamai MLA Y. Khemchand took part in the meeting organized by COVID-19 Helpline Center Singjamai. The meeting resolved to reactivate COVID Care Center of the constituency. Attendee doctors assured of necessary help at the center. A combined team has carried out an awareness drive on COVID-appropriate behaviors in the Indo-Myanmar border town of Moreh. A police team led by SP Technopol along with representatives of the Moreh-based civil society organizations and the personnel of the 43 Assam Rifles carried out the drive to ensure that people abide by COVID-19 SOPs like wearing of face masks and observe social distancing in the towns, especially in marketplaces. Moray Consumer Clubs has convened a meeting after Moray-based civil society organizations to discuss about rising prices of essential commodities amid the pandemic. Representatives of Meitei Council Moray, Hild Tribe Council Moray, Manipuri Muslim Council Moray, Old Community Development Organization Moray, Tamil Sangam Moray, Gorkha Sangam Samiti Moray and KSO Moray Bloc attended the meeting at the club conference hall. Attendees also discussed about rising fares of the Moray to Imphal passenger vehicles. Minority Backward Development Organization has extended relieved items to those affected by COVID-19 pandemic in the Moirang Assembly constituency. Organization chairman, the assistant news editor of DD News Imphal, the Chabungbam, the Virendra, and the president MD Kamaruddin led the organization members in distributing food and other relief items to widows and those residing in containment zones of the constituency at the Kwakta Kumand, Kwakta Terakong, Ngangkhalawai, Fubala and Nadansena. Disinfectants have been sprayed at various places of Patsoi Assembly constituency to ward off the COVID-19. General Secretary of National People's Party, Manipur, Chungkhamd Vijoy, initiated the drive. Members of the Uripok People's Welfare Committee today donated face masks and hand sanitizers to doctors, nurses and health workers of the Regional Institute of Medical Sciences Hospital. The items were handed over to RIMS Director Professor A. Santa. Nehru Yuva Kendra Thobal organized an awareness marks distribution program at the Urban Primary Health Center, Fogdale, today. Desam, the Jiribam District Council, has appealed to the government to fill up the vacant post of the 50-bedded hospitals at Jiribam's Ningshinkuld. In a video release from the association, its president Laishram Vilaxt expressed worry that lack of adequate staff at the hospitals will be a big hurdle in combating COVID-19.
Doctor, nurse, amadi grade 4 ki award pa post mayam laiba si Jiribam locality da matik char ba kayam su laibani Jiribam da laiba matik char ba qualify oiraba laiba singa si sida hang ba posting asi hapchan biduna mention biduna priority biduna agoi hang ba posting asi athu matam da menkapina ba health supervisor ba honorable chief minister di miteng chambi.
Unknown armed miscreants opened fire 2 rounds of bullets at the residence of 35-year-old Muhammad Moshin, son of Laid Nijamuddin at the Kiamgai Takhok Makha around 11 last night. Locals carried out protest demonstration holding various placards against the incidents today. It may be mentioned that Muhammad Mohsin currently served as a Manipur police constable. Speaking to media, Muhammad Mohsin's brother Muhammad Shahauddin appeals to nab the miscreants responsible for causing panic and fear psychosis among the locals. While the president of the BJP Kairaut Mandal, H. Rajnikanta, reminded that similar incidents occurred in the intervening night of April 21 and 22 this year at Kairao Makting Mayai Laikai. He claimed that BJP workers are being targeted with such threats.
Numidangi matamda migi punsi de singnaba siguma thodok wathok thokalam lebasi kari maramgi damakta thokhan bano haibadu miamda thamjaba apilni hairiba inau nupa asi sumna gate siga mahaka yum thangnaru khaki wani isnau manga pokminnaba akhoi gi si sumang amgi raunda circular settlement da punna yum daminaba punno thongal amada thokminnabani mahakaki life atem oinai khoi logde pokminnaba isnau manga maki punsi de singnabani hainai khoi lawi kana kana lanai oina nungaina dabana Mali, Masiam the Pang the Vigi, Todokni Haina, Hainingi, Karigumba, Akoida, Towningba, ꯂꯩꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯑꯣꯄꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯉꯥꯡꯅꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯩꯁꯨ ꯍꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯦꯟꯒꯗꯕ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ
ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯀꯣꯂꯤꯛꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯕꯤꯖꯦꯄꯤꯗ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯦꯇꯦꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯄ ꯇꯥꯔꯤꯛ 12 ꯂꯣꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯍꯤꯡꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯅꯥꯎ ꯁꯤꯔꯥꯖꯀꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯉꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯣꯁꯦꯟꯒꯤꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯄ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯄꯔꯁꯣꯅꯦꯜꯂꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯄ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯦ ꯔꯨꯂꯤꯡ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯇ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯝ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯟ ꯂꯧꯈꯠꯄꯤꯌꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯀꯜꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯠꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯖꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ
A team of Thalwal Commando today arrested a man in possession of the illegal consignment of the mosquito coils in the 58 cartons during a frisking operation at Somre along Yaripok Kasomd Road. The miscreant is 28-year-old Samurai Lakpam Rishi Kumar, son of H.S. Novindro of the Old Chikond. He was coming in a white Bolero bearing a registration number with the smuggled items. The arrested person and the seized items have been handed over to Superintendent of the Customs Preventive Force, Palil. Well, now it's time for a small commercial break. After the break, we bring you updates on coronavirus cases in India and the world. We will be back with details after the break. Until then, keep watching Impact News.
Office of the Yaifre Group of Finance, Head Office Singmairong near Eastern Motor, Imphal East, May Taramanga English Singanikun Matoi, Tha Amada Lupa Lising Marika Hulaga, Hausagadoriba, Lottery cum tender Siaw Biraga, Lupa Lak Kungimapu Oibiu, Lucky Draw Fauragana, Lupa Lak Amafang Bigani, Loinana, Atuba Matamda, Ezen Yankai Supamzay, Ezen Singidamak monthly income, draw timing and Nutugipung Anini.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching Primetime, the English Bulletin. India is being hit hard by the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Country continued to report single-day spike of above the 3 lakh active cases. As per the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, India logs a single-day spike of 3,68,147 new cases of COVID-19, taking tally to 1,99,25,604 in the past 24 hours. And there are 34,13,642 active cases. That total stands at 2,18,959 with the additions of 3,417 new COVID-19 fatalities. On the positive note, 3,732 people were discharged in the past 24 hours, rising the recovered cases to 1,62,93,003. India's recovery rate stands at 81.77%. Maharashtra has the highest active cases of above 6,70,000 in the country. Globally, coronavirus has infected above 15 crore 35 lakh 82,500 people. Above 32 lakh 18,000 people have died, and recoveries are 13 crore 9 lakh 27,000. United States of America has the highest active cases of above 67 lakh 65,000 in the world, followed by India and Brazil. Police has arrested miscreants who sell the COVID-19 vaccine remdesivir in black market amid shortage of COVID-19 vaccine in India. A special team of Delhi police arrested 7 individuals during a raid carried out at the fake remdesivir injection unit at the Kotdwar in Uttarakhand. 196 remdesivir injection bottles and the 3,000 empty vials were seized during the raid. As confessed by arrested persons, above 2,000 fake injection bottles have been sold at rate of 25,000 rupees per bottle. Following this, a special team of Ahmedabad crime branch has seized 3,371 remdesivir injection vials worth around 1 crore 61 lakh rupees at market made by mixture of glucose and sold from Gujarat's Morbi, Surat and Ahmedabad. The team also arrested 7 individuals accused in the incidents. As confessed by arrested persons, duplicate injection bottles are procured from Mumbai, and bottles containing a mixture of the glucose and salt is sold at 4,000 rupees to people. It may be mentioned that remdesivir vaccine is an antiviral vaccine developed by California-based Gilead Science. The vaccine is used for treatment of the Middle East respiratory syndromes MERS and severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS, which are caused by coronavirus. People use the vaccine against COVID-19 since the vaccine to prevent from COVID-19 replications. As per agreement by Gilead Science, remdesivir vaccine can be made at Chipla Limited, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories Limited, Eva Pharma, Jubilant Life Science, Myland Syngene Biocon Company, Jidus Cadilla Healthcare Limited, and at 127 countries including India. For India, as per agreement by a Central Drug Control Organization CDSCO, remdesivir vaccines can be sold with the brand name of Remdec under Cadilla Healthcare Limited, Remdwind under Syngene International Limited, Biocon Biologics India, REDYX under Dr. Reddy's Laboratory Limited, Chibrami under Chipla Limited, Desremd under Myland Pharmaceutical Private Limited, Jubi R under Jubilant Generics Limited, and Covi 4 under Hetero Healthcare Limited. Guardians Parents HSLC Examinations 2021 has appealed to conduct a BOSEM HSLC examination by adhering to COVID-19 SOPs and not to just gift promotion. World Press Freedom Day 2021, information as a public good, is being observed today. It was in the year 1993 when the United Nations General Assembly declared May 3rd as the World Press Freedom Day. Hailed as the fourth pillar of democracy, the press, its reporter, editor and photographers have to always risk their reputations and lives for the truth behind events. They celebrated to ensure protections and safety of the press in the face of attacks against its independence, to discuss journalistic ethics and to celebrate journalists who gave their life in the pursuit of truth. It may be mentioned that press freedom is severely limited in 10 nations, namely China, North Korea, Vietnam, Laos, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Iran, and Cuba, to name a few. Results of a 2021 Assembly elections held amid the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 4 states and union territories of the Pondicherry have been declared. In Assam, BJP-led NDA has retained power for the second consecutive term. The NDA has secured 75 seats in the 120-member assembly, while BJP won the 60 seat. Its allied Assam Gana Parishad backed 9 seats and UPP held 6 seats. In West Bengal, the ruling Trinamool Congress has retained power for the 3rd time in a row, but Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee lost her owned Nandigram seat. Trinamool Congress has won 209 seats and BJP has won 76 seats. BJP's Suvendu Adhikari defeated Mamata Banerjee by a margin of 1,956 votes in the key Nandigram constituency. In Tamil Nadu, DMK, led by M.K. Stalin, is all set to return to power after a gap of 10 years. The DMK alliance has won 136 seats and leading at 22 seats. Ruling AIA-DMK has won 68 and leading in 8 others. In Kerala, Left Democratic Front LDA has retained power for the second consecutive term. Pinarayi Vijayan government has become the first government to got the second successive term in 4 decades. In the Pondicherry National Democratic Alliance, NDA has secured majority in the 30-member assembly and all set to form a government. Delhi Associations of the Manipur Muslim Students, New Delhi, has observed the 28th anniversary of the Pongal's Black Day. Now the news from the world of sports. In the IPL cricket, the match between Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bangalore, salted for today, has been rescheduled after 2 players of Kolkata Knight Riders tested positive for COVID-19. Second round match of Mutua Madrid Open Women's Tennis Tournament have been played at outdoor clay court in Spain's Madrid Arena. In second round, Sabalenka of the Belarus defeated Russia's D. Kasatkina 6-3, 6-3. Belgium's E. Mertens defeated Kazakhstan's E. Rybakina 7-6, 7-4, 7-5. Romania's Simona Halep thrashed S. Zheng of the People's Republic of China 6-0, 6-4. Zebade of the United States defeated the Latvia's J. Ostapenko 6-2, 6-1, and Sakari of the Greece defeated A. Kontaveit of the Estonia 6-3, 6-1, and K. Muchova of the Czech Republic defeated Japan's Naomi Osaka 6-4, 3-6, and 6-1 to enter the third round of the tournament, which will be played tomorrow. Indian gymnast Pranati Nayak is all set to compete in the upcoming Tokyo Olympic Games. She was supposed to take part in the 9th Senior Asian Championship, which was scheduled to be held at China's Hangzhou from May 29th to June 1, but it has been postponed owing to COVID-19 pandemic. It may be mentioned that the 26-year-old women gymnast from West Bengal bagged a bronze medal in the vault event of the Senior Asian Athletic Gymnastic Championship held in 2019 at Ulaanbaatar. She is the second reserved in the Asian zoned quota after Sri Lanka's Ilpitiya Badalgi Dona Malka Gehani to be eligible for the upcoming Tokyo Olympic Games from July 23 till August 8. Well, that's all we have in this bulletin, but before we wind up, let's take a glimpse at the headlines once again. Manipur logs a single-day spike of 362 new COVID-19 confirmed cases and 7 deaths in 24 hours. Death toll climbed to 422. Manipur procures medical oxygen from neighboring states of Nagaland and Assam to meet requirement. India logs above 3,68,000 new COVID-19 cases and 3,417 deaths in 24 hours. Recovery rate stands at 81.77%. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Coming up next is Primetime Manipuri Bulletin. In the meantime, for more news and information, please do not hesitate to follow Impact TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Until then, have a great evening and always stay safe.
इम्पैक्ट टीवी के सब्सक्राइबर्स